Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds addressed Iowans in her sixth condition of the state address. Reynolds remarked on the Republican Party's successes throughout the last 6 years, including tax reform and a robust $3.6 billion education budget. Reynolds also called on the legislature to increase penalties for manufacturing fentanyl.
I'm calling on the legislature to increase penalties for manufacturing and distributing fentanyl in any amount. That means longer sentences and higher fines, even when the quantity is small. And when an overdose leads to death or serious injury, the sentences will be even steeper.
Iowa's Democratic Party responded to Reynolds' address, stating, quote, "Iowa Democrats are committed to putting people over politics, and we won't sit back while Kim Reynolds and Iowa Republicans chip away at the foundational principles of our state," end quote.